E3 for nothing.
Yes,
And
Kaizu,
they
yeah.
managed to, it was raging. And
Oh yeah,
Kaizu isn't go hard.
oh yeah, my bad, yeah.
And they managed to come back from that and really do a glorious win. So it was super interesting. We've seen use of Foch on the rail, so that's a new thing to go with. And it's gonna, I mean, eSuba needs to change something here on Hibelzer because they already lost 2-0 to Go Hard here, while Oops is super successful. So there is a potential here that Oops will actually take both rounds, which is a super great danger for a team like eSuba.
And we can see some vehicles being used here that I've not really seen before. So we've got the PZ7 coming out, the German Heavy, and the WZ, the Chinese Light, being used.
Chinese Light, I'm quite surprised. But PZ is a really good tank. I mean, that German Heavy has 550 Alpha, good reload, good gun handling. Top turret is strong, so it can do quite a lot.
Oops have the giraffe camo there on the blue side attacking, and eSuba have the blue and white camo there on the red side. They are defending.
But that's very interesting because there is no PZ in the game. But never mind that. We're just going to wait for the game from now on.
Okay, there's no PZ and there's no WZ either. Okay.
Aggressive play by eSuba on the rail, as usual. Raging playing E3 as he used to. Yeah, I saw that FV405, so I was kind of confused. That's an old meta. But also maybe they have something stashed away. Creator and Deha playing 50Bs, that's a classic. As you can always see them play that in this season. Insane on mouse. That's going to be interesting to see. He played it last time also. And Kerolf. Kerolf did a really good game on blocking off Go Hard on a lower corner. So let's see what kind of mind play will actually Oops do now, because this is another kind of setup. They're playing completely different. Last time they were playing more to the hill and just using mouses as kind of distraction on the lower part. But this time they actually have 50Bs already down together with the rest of the heavies.
Yeah, a lot of the time at the start of this map, you're seeing this confrontation down in the bottom left corner. Getting control of that 1-2 line can be really quite strong for the attacking team, but generally everyone's playing it a lot slower now. Used to get a lot of sometimes, you know, all-in pushes up over the hill. I think we saw that yesterday as well, or perhaps on Thursday, not yesterday, Friday or Thursday. One of the teams definitely did it.
There's a lot of presence here by eSuba on the rail, but let's see. Andrew is in 50B, 113, and Tomaszek is on VZ. That's not kind of tanks that can actually stop a full push by Oops. Like 2 mouses and 2 50Bs can do a havoc on them, but they're not going to risk the HP on the 50Bs, so they just established the dominance here, put mouses in positions where they can bounce, angle themselves, buy some time, and they're doing rotations over the map. They already know where Froley is with the mouse, so my guess is they're aware there is no one on A6, B6 behind the house, you know, the meritorious death spot. So they're going to probably try to do something about it and play rotation.
That should be the next sign we get added into the game. It's like a road sign or something like that.
Should be Mary's picture there.
Yeah, just a graffiti thing. Meritorious was here.
Rip.
Yeah. Camel here moving up what's known as the Banana Roads, getting a bit of progress for his team.
Yuki took a huge chunk of damage there, and that was 100% by raging from the hill.
Yuki getting connected on there. It's a popular place, or a place where people know are going to lurk about. That's a good connection there from Raging Potato. Insane taking a little bit of damage there on Oops and his mouse. Stage trade, and Camille is going to start the cap and try and get a bit of attention from eSuba and get him thinking.
It's a ropa-dopa, as you would call it, because he will just trigger the cap, position his tank to run away effectively, and they'll probably push the rail in one moment. If they manage to get unspotted up, they might support him, so... But it does look like they're gathering up for the lower push.
And you can see where Creator and I think Decha are sitting ready to clip anyone that goes across the 5 line.
Yeah, that's free damage. They will be, whoever goes will be spotted by Milos. You could see him there from the start of the game. People use 113 on that position mainly now because 113 still has harder turret than a VZ. VZ has a good gun depression, but it's very specific position. You saw that Milos actually has to turn his tank sideways, not frontal as it was usual. Oh, ho, ho. There we go. Froley exchanged some shots. So Unji can actually pass, and it's going to be a bit of one-on-one fight here between Camille and him.
Camille and Unji trading shots here. Camille didn't want to go. He prefers the trade here, but I mean, it's 2 for 2. They've only got 2 shots left. Who can actually make those shots count? Generally in this situation, it's whoever gets the first shot in and doesn't bounce. And that's gone in Unji's favor. Looks like Camille's missed one of his shots.
Yeah, Camille missed the last one and Unji could actually finish him off, but he doesn't know what is behind Camille. He doesn't know for 100%, so he doesn't want to risk to peek out and get shot for nothing. That would be a big loss for his team. Raging again taking a lot of damage on that 8 line. Yesterday he was deleted by Gohard, if you remember, by a series of really brilliant shots by them. And this time it's a big shot. It must be by Combat in his E3.
You can see Raging there trying to go for the front part of the mouse turret, but is aiming at distance just wasn't with him when it bounced off the side of the mouse. Now Raging's continuing to be focused. Deca,
oh, he doesn't have a reload to finish off Anji, so he will run away.
Oh, he's able to get away. Now Raging does 191 there, so it was an HE shot coming out. Deca's now moving up to try and finish off Unji.
They didn't even see that he left.
He was not spotted.
He was not spotted. And Raging is again, he's on 600. That's a one shot for E3 down.
He is taking a beating up in that area. It happened when he was there last time as well.
And he returned with HE again, so he took only 600 damage so far from combat while he... Oh my god, he's on one shot. That's from mouse.
Raging, mate.
Oh dear god.
He misses, and now he's going to probably get hit as he backs off. Is it going to be safe?
No. He's safe now, but,
okay.
But safe and on 90 HP, it's not very useful.
Insane taking another hit there in his mouse as the rest of his team have pushed up. Now Kerloff could be in a dangerous position here. He can get caught between Andrew and Lukin. It's Insane's giving him additional support. Double cap now happening here for Oops, trying to get a bit more attention and focus here from eSuba at the top of the map.
They're working on Insane definitely there. I mean, they can even afford to lose some HP because Oops is kind of playing a strong cap up, but they don't have the HP to do it. Raging and Camille are both on one shot. So Kerov and Insane here with two mouses. Yes, they are supposed to create huge pressure on the team, but in reality they really can't. The only tanks they can lock down are already there. And they can run away because they're faster.
Frawley able to get the reset there, but Milos peeks out and he gets hit for that from his troubles. Now look at the difference already at the top here for HP bars. Oops are roughly in about a 2k deficit right now, with eSuba still having a huge amount of HP on the board. Tomasek still hasn't even taken any damage yet in his WZ5A, so it's not really looking good for Oops right now.
No, it pretty much looks like they're sunk, but there is still some chance for them. There can be some mistake done by eSuba. Unji is already going from the lower side. He's gonna try to find a position to clip someone in their backs. Maybe one of the mouses, maybe even the guys on the cap. They really don't have to care much at the moment because they do have all advantage they need.
Milosh and Deca here trying to come back round, trying to get some kind of crossfire set up. They have Crater around there as well. As Deca takes a huge hit, he gets his driver killed straight away and continues to take damage. Kerloff as well, and Oops is taking damage. But look at this in return on eSuba. Their HP bars are starting to drop as well. HP bars are starting to come closer now for the team overall.
Creator is really, it's really important how will he play it out now, because if he connects a couple of shots and they maybe delete someone. Insane killed Lukin there down. We didn't see the fight that's going on the rail, but that means there is 2-on-1 on the rail. No matter the HP, Insane fell, so it's Kerov playing against, I don't know, Andrew.
Kerov going against Andrew, because Lukin actually dropped as well, so it's a one-on-one down the bottom. Raging Potato, I mean, he's going to kick himself not having that HP to be able to trade right now. As this brawl's happening at the bottom of the town, Crater finally picks it up with Yukets. Tomasek is burning right now. He's on fire. He might go down. No, he survives on 7 HP.
We still have Combat with a lot of HP on that E3, but he's not a mobile tank and he really can't do much about it. That leaves only Andrew, who is stuck down to do anything about it, and Anji, who is on low HP.
Andrew picks up the double kill. He finishes off Kerloff at the bottom, so he's going to come back into the battle soon enough. He's a two-shot, though, so he has to be very careful. So right now, it's all about the teams managing their HP. Who can they get that still has HP to take shots? His Combat finally picks up Raging Potato. That was always going to happen, really, if Raging Potato tried to get into the fight.
Tomasek will fall now to Creator. There was this shell that Creator took. There was no chance that it would happen. That Deca tried to flank and he's falling down. Oops really tried and brought the game close, but this kind of game will not end itself now. Like Milos and Creator cannot turn the game around alone.
Creator is pushed up there to get the kill, but now he's exposed to Andrew. As we see Andrew picking up the triple kill, finishes him off. Milos now is stuck between two different angles. Unji's going to come round as well to perhaps finish him off. Camille's coming round the back to try and get shots into Andrew. But look at this, Frawley drops Camille, Unji drops Milos, and that is it. eSuba take this round, and in the end, it was just really the additional HP there that eSuba had to trade in that fight.
Well, eSuba did a good start. They did a lot of initial damage, so the rotation potential for Oops was limited again. And they didn't find anyone really alone because eSuba was covering their tracks well. So it just didn't work out. Also, that exchange on a cap where Unji ended up with one shot of HP more.
Yep.
Then Kamil also went in their favor because then Bachat was not really that useful. He could not afford to go around and take any damage. Andrew doing a brilliant job down there on rail. 4.4k mainly done on mouse tanks. Really good game for him and pretty much a game breaker in this kind of setup. But again, Raging took a lot of damage on that 8 line.
Yeah, I feel bad for him because it's a position that you normally see the E3 go to. The E3 can normally bounce quite a few shots there, and that's 2 different rounds he's been there. He's taken a pummeling for it. So is, he,
It
is
was
his
really hard time
just
for him.
not right, or is it just luck's just not in his favour?
Well, we will have to actually ask players in the interview later because it does look really awkward someone getting pummeled so much.
Yeah, because I mean the E3 is horrible.
I mean there is weak spot of course on the top of the turret of E3. Everyone knows it, but connecting it so precise is really nice by these guys. Yesterday it was even worse. I mean he died literally in 2 platoons of fire. Yeah. But anyway, never mind. We should not take anything away from eSuba. eSuba won this game deserved, but this was a defense. Now they will have to show us some promise and some courage because it's an attack side.
Yep, indeed. Now, Himmelsdorf, like you said, it has always the potential for being 1-1. It can be quite a slow-placed game. You don't really get any cap rushes. If anyone does do it, they're going to go for the base on the...
I'm not commenting on lineup.
Left-hand side. We'll wait and see till the match starts, whether this is correct or not. I mean, it looks interesting in E4. Coming out over an E3, Raging Potato, perhaps he's just fed up. I mean, the E4 can be penned even easier than an E3, so hopefully he's not going to do similar tactics. A bit more flexibility because it does have the limited turret rotation. But yeah, I mean, Creator, Decha, Raging Potato is indeed in the E4. 3 WZ, 5 As, and a mouse on Oops. eSuba bringing in IS-7 here, Mojo. What's the plan with that one?
IS-7 has a really strong turret now, great gun handling. Mainly, when you see that, I think it's something that will have to do with sandbags and 8 line, because the best habitat for that kind of tank.
Unji just trying to see if he can get any proxy spots for his team. Anyone trying to move across the 1 line? We can see Frawley, Raging Potato, Creator, and Unji all being spotted at the same time.
But he didn't spot Kamil right below him.
Missed him completely. Yep, that's what the yellow boxes round the tank symbols on the minimap mean, and also the names show up in yellow, as you see right here on the screen with a little 6 cents.
Aggressive play here by Oops, already positioning Kamil like this. He can effectively not get really pushed that easily, because anyone who tries to go and deal with it, he will take a lot of damage. But look at this, also really aggressive approach on the lower side of the map. Karolf already snapping some damage away.
Using the reverse side scraping there of his tank, being able to bounce a shot. Tomasek for eSuba has taken one. It's a normal size, I couldn't quite tell from the way it was angled there. Tomasek taking a damage there on his WZ5A for eSuba. So first bit damage being taken by eSuba.
Well, Oops knows now that eSuba is pretty much cornered, and they dominate the hill, of course, because as defender you cannot really challenge the hill. We've seen teams like eSuba actually try it a couple of times last season. It never worked out well, because attacker always has a better spawn and he can do whatever he wants, and it's just not the good way to play it. Frawley is going toward the 8 line, I would say, but this is a really static game because they are now confused what are they supposed to do. Banana Road 8 line is already covered, there is a VZ there. They already know that Railroad is also cut away completely because Karolf is watching that. So it's a big debate now, how will they break it? It leaves them only one way to do it effectively, it's over the hill. But they know, as we can guess, that something is then waiting for that.
Combat up there on the E3, where we saw Raging Potato earlier on in his E3. I wonder if he's going to be able to survive longer than his counterpart in the opposite team. Now, Tomasek and Andrew making move up towards the hill, so it looks like perhaps eSuba are going to favour going up and over the hill.
Well, look at the position. I'm really sorry we can't draw at the moment. It's going to happen next week, I hope. But you can see Decha and Creator, how they were positioned on the rail, so they could clip if someone tries to go banana, they could clip a bit on a hill if something is spotted. Insane is covering that road, as you see from this wreckage, and Carol was covering down. 8 line is blocked away, so honestly, going and trying to fight down would just mean they would take needless damage on the way and probably end up in some kind of crossfire they didn't want to.
See, he is reverse side scraping. I just had to get out of there. I knew it was right. I didn't want to say to them, go back. I was like, the turret's at the front. He's reversing. But no. Ukets facing off here against Kamui. I mean, this was going to go on for years if these two tanks just had to face off each other like this, wouldn't it?
There is no way they're gonna even bother facing off. Like Kamil is doing what he's supposed to. He's just blocking the banana and waiting for them to go toward the zero line, which they're doing now. And Milos is watching the zero line if someone is trying to maybe flank him and so on. If even that happens, Kamil can only just dodge and go out in a courtyard where no one can really challenge him.
E3's taking a big hit there already, Mojo. Looks like Milos perhaps connected with him.
You can always wait on a dollar man. He will make the works.
Let's see if it's going to work. I mean, it's one of these positions now where...
I don't know, why did he take this shot, honestly?
I think it's just his initial, like, rotating himself into position. But, I mean, nobody in Oops so far has taken any damage. It's only eSuba has taken damage.
You can see the new reload of Mouse now after the patch. When everything is buffed up, you can see what he uses of. He has rammer, ventilation, and a vertical. And he has the rations, of course, and he has BA on crew, so 1052 is the max you can do with Mouse now.
That wasn't Milos. He spotted. It was the E3 behind him, I think. I think it was Raging.
Well, if he's lacking around 700, it definitely wasn't Milos.
Yeah. I'm always getting confused with damage. Can't count, Mojo, that's the problem, you know?
Not enough fingers, I know.
I know. As well, I can count to 12 really easily using just my fingers, but you know, that's it. I'm stuck past that. Look at this gun line. Oh man, combat, do not peek again. He's already going back up the hill. It looks like eSuba just do not have a plan B for this, Mojo, at all.
This is their plan B. They are gathering forces for a strong push down because they think there is a lot of Oops forces gathering for the upper cap, and they are right about it. So Kerolf is pretty lonely here. And you can see a lot of Oops guys are actually backing off because they are sensing it also. Kamil already left and most of the other guys are leaving. But I think they're leaving because they think there'll be a huge YOLO from the hill. And that's not happening. They're abandoning the spot even. That can really go wrong on so many ways now for them.
This really shows how powerful the information is in these games. Being able to spot your enemy team and know roughly what they're doing. Right now, both teams are effectively playing blind. They have no idea what the other team's doing. And it's working for eSuba.
Well, eSuba had some guess based on taking shots and so on. Now they're really not sure what's going on and where the enemy tanks. Are they trapping them somewhere? Are they doing this? Are they doing that? And this information will actually help quite a lot. What a low roll.
Unji getting a shot there on Insane, moving across. Insane's going to tell his teammates, I got shot, but it's by a Batchat, so they could be thinking, well, he's left the Batchat. Kerolf now spots out Andrew, however, trading shots with them. Andrew taking one there from Kerolf, nice connection. Unji is ammo racked. Repairs that straight away, and he's taking a bit of damage. So still, damage being chipped away here on eSuba, and Oops still with all the HP on the board pretty much, other than that one shot on Insane.
Well, eSuba still has 2 Mouse to commit with, and they're doing it on 8 lines. So they want to do some kind of pincer move. Nice connection there on Frolin.
He just penned an IS-7 turret frontally.
No, he penned the plate, but still really great shot.
That was nicely done. Fast push here from the Mousies up Banana Road. We're lucky to capture this. It's usually over in a blink of an eye.
Well, this is a problem now for eSuba. Like, this placement of the tank is okay. But look at Froly getting absolutely handing him over. Like, he's wrecked. Fortunately, he has a medic, so he actually repaired commander. But the time is ticking away. It's less than 3 minutes. They even didn't trigger the cap. Oops is more or less pretty much unharmed. That means they can do a huge counter push, even allow themselves to waste most of the tanks. As long as one of them survives, it's going to just be fine for them.
There's only a 2k difference roughly between the teams right now, but the fact that Oops still have so many tanks on full health means that if they just go in for the brawl, providing they trade properly, they should
but
be
the
able to win
positions
easily.
are in Oops' hands if you push that cap. Like, they already have Milos in a Mouse who can angle and pretty much reset them all the time. So they have to commit to kill him. If you want to kill a Mouse who is well hidden, well, then you have to open yourself for other people. Unji taking, again, a lot of damage. I don't know, does he have a repair anymore, but he can clip out, and that reload, well, we'll see when will it happen.
Camel taking a shot from the E3, providing Overwatch as a triple Mouse push into the hill. They're just looking for a fight here now. eSuba against Oops. Milos getting focused at the moment by the autoloaders. He is in no man's land. Can't get any support here, really, for his team. Big miss there, going over the top of Andrew, who's now on a reload. Unji has 2 shots. Milos is trying to bait the shot out, but no, Milos gets hit as well. So now Unji can come out and get his shots. Can Milos, and he's going to land the last one. Unji bounces both of them. So Milos is going to finish off Andrew now, and he can push up into Unji, who's now in a reload. Milos surviving on a sliver of health right now, but now he goes down as Ukets finally gets the kill.
Well, there is 2,000 advantage here for Oops, and as I said again, advantage in positions. 1.5 minutes left. The Ukets fell, Tomaszek fell. Only 4 of them is surviving, and Froley will not last longer more.
Froley here is between a rock and a hard place as Karloff is getting him from one side, and if he peeks on the other side, Insane can get him. Looks like Karloff is going to finish him here. Hits him in the wheel actually, but it looks like it bounced. Didn't actually connect with the lower plate there.
You usually don't pen when you hit with a hit on a tracks. This just doesn't happen.
Insane now going to come round and get the kill instead, so that's a double kill for Insane. Oops, still everyone on the board here other than Milos, who died bravely at the top of the map, as Raging Potato now pushes up into Lukin. Gets the double kill, finishing him off. It's only combat left now for his team, and that is a fantastic comeback here from Oops, and exactly what they needed to do after that first round.
Well, the game is pretty much ending itself. Combat is the only guy left. Oops can just go and chase him if they're bored enough, but it's nothing that can really change except some personal stats. And will you pen a shell more or not? 25 seconds, unless they really want to kill him. Nice connection there by the creator. There is definitely an issue with the E3. I mean, I remember a patch ago, there was like some slight rebalance with its armor, but it was really slight. It should not affect it this much.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where the shots are coming in or where they're going through or something like that. Hopefully it doesn't have a gap in its armor model somehow, but I don't think so. I think it's maybe just people are practicing getting used against it. Again, nicely there from Oops, only losing Milos, and well, again, that's kind of their own fault to blame. I mean, you would have thought the 2 backchat shots would have finished him off, and instead it left him surviving. Well. He did well. He really angled well there, yeah. And survived to get the kill as well, which is good, because then that was, what, 3 tanks trying to have him to kill him?
Even if that didn't happen that way, he would still... he already did his job. They already did their damage while they were taking care of Milos, so it really didn't matter at the end of the day. Kamil doing really astonishing damage, more than 4k. In 770 we will see a lot of that on city maps, I think, because there are no small tanks and no small damage dealers then. Raging, improving a bit since the last game.
Yeah, good bounce back, picking up 2 kills, coming second top damage there, pretty much 2.9. Lukin, the only one from eSuba there in the top 5, so top 4 players, top 4 out of 5 coming out there from Oops.
Well, it was pretty self-obvious round, guys. Decent win by Oops. They didn't have to do anything too much. It was a really nice opening, the aggressive opening that got eSuba completely confused and off balance. And that worked well in their favor. The later rotation by eSuba were sluggish, slow, and they didn't really decide until the end what they want to do. They did try with that split move attack with Mouses on 8 line and the rest of the tanks from lower side. Just didn't work. Oops were just positioned too well.
And like you said, Himmelsdorf 1-1 map. Mine's more likely going to be a 1-1 map. It's all about breaking the defense here, really.
We're going to have to see that. Maybe Oops got some lessons going since the last time we watched them play Mines.
Yeah, I was watching APAC earlier on today, and they were talking about how Mines is a heavily defensive map. And on that particular match they were commentating, both teams won their attacking round. So yeah, Mines is quite hard to predict at the moment. Most stuff would revolve around the cap that's down in the water there on the left, rather than the cap up the town. That will happen if the team manages to get dominance on the right hand side. Conqueror gun carriage coming out.
This is going to be interesting. I mean, eSuba managed to win both rounds on Mines against Gohard, while Oops managed to lose both rounds on Mines against Gohard. So let's see what lessons both of them actually took out of those games.
Yep, this is going to be good. We're seeing the Russian Tier 10 light coming out, T100 being used. Conqueror gun carriage has potential to do a lot of disruption and a decent amount of damage as well.
Oh my
Already, Ukets has been caught out trying to rush onto the island and is down to less than half health. Great coverage there from Oops.
There was like 3 guys shooting at him.
Wow.
No, 2 guys, sorry, Creator didn't have the reload, so Deha connected probably.
Wow.
Deha and Insane, both, or Milos. I'm not sure which one of them.
We'll be able to see players. So Karloff got shot in, and it was his spotting that caused it.
So we have combat on RT that's been done many times by eSuba. He's their RT player. And the problem is this position where Karloff is super hard for RT to do anything about, but he can do something with Deha.
Deha gets ammo racks, gets his viewport damaged and gets tracked as well, and is stunned now with that artillery shot. Cameo actually with the assist as well with Deca. Okay. So they both split the damage there.
Why is he not repairing himself?
Okay, so Deca just looking to take that one out. Does he have a repair pack, or is he going to wait for something? Is it maybe a loader? Is he maybe doesn't have a medipack? I always get them mixed up. One's vertical. There we go. So it was a loader. It wasn't a repair pack because it would have fixed the viewport as well. So vertical's loader. 3 shells are vertical. It's a loader. The 3 shells are horizontal. It's an ammo rack. I'll forget that next match. Don't worry. Tomasek moving over into that corner. Looks like he's going to trade off against whoever is under the hill. This is one of the roles I think is always like frustrating if you're the guy that has to do this.
Well, this is a good position here because it gives you opportunity to play a bit of a hold down against tanks like very insane is, and he will try to push him away, maybe establish some positions so 1 or 2 batchets can go up on a hill. It's a really light setup here by eSuba. They have GC, only 1 mouse, everything else is super mobile, great reloads and everything, but in a close combat it's gonna be really tough to actually deal with these mouse tanks.
Yeah, I mean, eSuba can continue to chip away damage using the Conqueror gun carriage, but when it comes to actual proper brawls and fighting, eSuba then are effectively fighting a tank down. They can have the shot coming in for the Conqueror gun carriage, but then it's got the reload. So Oops really need to capitalise. Once they know that's fired, if they are going to start fighting. Also, eSuba already have the danger of Ukets being sub-half health, so if they try and push across that 1-2 line, it could end very quickly.
They have an RT, and they're positioning batchets like they want to push. I really hope they won't because it's rather early in the game. Okay, RT is working a bit on Kamil now, trying to chase him away, so he doesn't spot the push of the batchets if it comes. But still, Kerov can still spot them.
To be fair though, that's two ARI shots.
Oh boy, here we go.
Yes, it's going to go bad. Two ARI shots has got the viewports. Let's listen into the team speak here of eSuba and see if they can make it work.
Mauzové půjdou hill možná?
Decha nevystřelil.
Můžou, no, já jsem
Decha
tady.
vystřelil do mě.
Musíte si zabít Kamila nějak opatrně.
Ty mauzové jsou strašně agro.
S tím lightem nic nedělá, no.
Držou nějak?
No.
Povím ty 4 ty mauzové nás těch třeba.
Mám se někam posouvat s tím VZem?
S VZem...
Pro ty můžeš farmit ty mauze, tak?
Já můžu ty mauze.
Já tady nemůžu nic.
Ale koukej, oba koukej na mě.
Ne. Já to přejedu.
Můžeš s VZem, a tady bude druhá 4, jo? Mauze, furt koukej na mě.
Oni jedou, ne?
Hej, Lukine, pojď mi musíš mi sem dát cross, jo?
Přihráte, Andrew.
S Tovarskou můžeš něco nebo?
Teď nabijím, můžu mauze.
Hej, bude dělat.
Čtyřka vystřel. Tomáš je dostane asi vysypáno, no.
Neměl by mě vysypat.
Ale bacha na 4.
Andrew, můžeme ho double.
Já tam nemůžu přes tu 4.
Já mám dělo, no. Můžeme jako...
Hej, můžete si
Pojď
najít
nějaké
a zkusit.
vyklipovat.
Ne, tak nemám.
Máš jsme upiču, já jsem na ránu, v letadle nemám.
Máš jaké v píči. Andrew může?
Mám 2 rány, no.
Mám ho.
Od mauzu, že?
Vystřelil insane.
Nabím.
To máš to. Dobrý.
Hodí, ještě hrám. Nebo je střed dechal.
Jeden mouse čumí na mě.
Co já s tím batem na tom ostrově?
To musíš nějak hrát přes ty křoví, no.
Zabil Tomáška. Beru na Tomáška, no.
Už jde.
Bat jedna minus.
And well, with the death of the 2 batchats in that corner mojo, that was pretty much that whole plan done and dusted.
Well, not much to expect. I mean, they really didn't utilize that GC well. He just did 1 or 2 shots before they actually pushed maybe 1k damage in total. So it was a bit early there. Also, the execution, I would say Kamil held his ground really marvelous with that light. He actually did quite a lot of damage to those bots, held them away completely, rendered them useless. So eSuba was just outplayed this round, and they didn't really have the tanks to deal with this.
Yeah, I mean, when the batchats went down initially, it was a damage spread across 2 of them, so it wasn't really one focused, but Camo and the T100 was able to start chipping away. I think it was Unji, and then it was Andrew had to swap positions with him to take the hit. Rest of the tanks here now just pushing up on into Lukin. Ukets is stuck on island, they know he's over there, and then they just need to find combat in his Conqueror gun carriage before he gets off his last remaining shots.
I just have a feeling that eSuba actually thought that Oops will play something aggressive toward the hill, so that's why they had such a fast lineup, and they had a GC to cover their to help them out. But these final moments may be a bit amusing for us, but they will not change the fate here. Oops took their defense on mines and expected, and now we need to see in the next round if they learn something from their previous mistakes.
Indeed. Combat going down there, swinging as he takes out a tank with him. Raging Potato falling over and killing himself as he tries to rush in for the last minute kill. Oops just getting a bit Keystone Cops right now, as Insane finally picks up the kill there on Yuket. So that one going to Oops. It's currently 2-1. eSuba now are going to be the team going on to attack, and it's going to be, sorry, my bad, eSuba are going to be the ones defending, and Oops are going to be on the attack.
I don't expect some super hardcore push from eSuba, but from Oops we need to see.
Yeah, but they do something different. They are, as we talked about this before as well, they are one of the teams that are innovators, I feel like, of new tactics. Let's have a look here at the start of the battle where Yuket's got absolutely ripped apart here.
Oh, this is the moment that we actually missed, and there we go, 1-2. Two shots received.
Ouch. Ouch. Already waiting exactly for where they thought he would be.
That's really not the start you want when you have with such a fast lineup with a lot of budgets. You really don't want to lose more than 1 HP before you even get the first shell in.
Crater, Deca, Insane, top 3 there. Very close damage. Crater, one of the new boys in the league this season as well. So as Daki likes to call him, Crater 31, but
standard performance by him, and he's doing really well so far. We're gonna see when the really hard matches kick in how he handle it.
He's another one of these players that's kind of, for those who are familiar with top tier randoms and clan wars and stuff like that, he's someone who's expected to.
Well, he's one of the guys who actually won the qualifier, so he's experienced even a bit more than that.
Carried Savage Squad when they were previously known as Fame, I believe, one of their best players. Yeah, round 2 on Mines. Looking forward to this. I really want to see something new. I want to see something different that people are not ready for. But I say that every time, and usually we get standard stuff. So
standard is always standard until someone makes something new, Ryan, and then it pops out, and you're like,
it's good. It's like
it can work or not.
It's like when Ding started using artillery all of a sudden.
It's like you see Tornado rushing with mouses, and it actually gets a new meaning when you see it.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, Cap 2, usually where stuff happens, if it is going to be some kind of Cap stuff, you generally don't see teams particularly playing for a Cap 1 tactic unless they have that right side of the map.
Cap 1 is practically almost impossible to do. That's the main problem. You have to sacrifice a tank to do it, and then you're a tank down, so when you get counter-attacked, you lose a hill and you get just shot down to the pieces. Okay, PZ there. I'm not saying a thing until I see it in the game.
Well, looking at how it was done in APAC, it was playing in that exact same position where Deca was. So they just drive it up to the rock and they use it playing
there. But let's see, are they actually using it?
Double E4 as well.
Okay.
So Andrew and Unji in the E4s. This could be quite tough for Oops to push into.
Yeah, now Oops has a quite lighter setup here. No RT. 3 mediums, TVP being one of them. Super aggressive push here on the hill. They just want to establish dominance. Deja is trying to clip out a bit on these heavies, but it just doesn't work out. No shell spent here. Frol is already spotted, but they already knew where he is. This is the default spot when you see a T100 in these games now. This is exactly the place where you use it. If you saw last time, Bachas had so much trouble to try even to hit him because he's flat as a pancake.
Yeah.
It's super hard to hit him, and then you have to expose part of your turret. You get shot by him, and you can get shot even worse by someone else.
It's like somebody stood on a T54, that T100 tank.
Yeah, there are a couple of versions of tanks that exactly look like someone stepped on them.
Yeah. Now, Milosh advancing up here. You can see his consumables down the bottom there. So he has Repair Pack, Chocolate, and then he has
Fire Extinguisher.
Fire Extinguisher. So no med pack if he uses any. If he loses.
Yeah, but he plays mouse. So it's
generally
fine.
Doesn't lose crew members.
Not often.
Stats up there for Andrew so far. Doing well. Damage blocked. eSuba and Toto. He's got 3 kills out of 10 for his team. So.
Minute and a half, almost 2 minutes in. Oops is still deciding what they will do, but in any moment they will just have to decide where to push. We've seen some pushes from the 8-9 line, and they can mostly work. If there is a good focus fire, they can work. So far, literally no damage exchange between the teams, rather static. eSuba being defender, they don't have to do absolutely anything except to just wait and see what will Oops do and then react.
Looks like
I really hope they will not push the water side.
yeah.
I totally don't like it.
Lots of tanks there from eSuba are going to have a good crossfire opportunity if someone does do that. So hopefully Oops can try and get a bit more vision before they decide what to do. It's looking like Mojo, well, is Crater going to turn left or right? We'll find out in just a second. Oh, this could be a water push. Oh no. So maybe push water, maybe distract with the mouses while they try and push water at the same time. It'll be interesting to see who's done. Crater is certainly taking the long way round to avoid being spotted.
If eSuba actually manages to connect several good shots while they're crossing on the water, so that means spot them on time by Frolly or Lukin, this game will be pretty much over.
Now, Frolly has taken a bit of damage in his T100 for eSuba, and in return, Oops, I've got some damage done to Raging Potato in the WZ5A. Now, you can see the tanks here lined up from Oops like they are ready to make a push. If they do...
Oh, Insane got early spotted. That's not good.
Insane's peaked already. Has that just absolutely killed the plans? Crater and Kerloff sitting there.
It's a nice shot.
Frolly playing peekaboo with his tank up on its rear end.
If you were wondering what is Milos trying to shoot all the time, he's trying to connect this pixel shot of Frolly peeking over the hill. Like there is a spotting point on top of his turret there, and when it peeks out, it can actually spot and see the guys.
Kerloff moving up to beside Cameo. Are they going to go for it, Mojo?
Well, it's 4 minutes
I mean, they just
into the
watched,
game, and they are definitely here.
and they just watched eSuba do it. If they're going to go,
Let's see what will be the trigger. Because someone else has to do something before they push. Milos on the center.
right. Patience. It's all about patience. Insane spotted again. The other tanks haven't been spotted, so eSuba don't quite know that they're all there. I wonder if they're just trying to bait somebody to shoot them as well.
Well, Milos is trying to extract some shots and tell them, yeah, they fired me, go, go, go. That's their plan. So, here we go, that's the guy from the flag, from the base. And we are waiting, and here we go.
Moving, so let's jump into TeamSpeak of Oops and see how it works.
That's nice. That's
If-
good.
if
That's
shot.
good. That's good. That's good. That's good. They don't have
If
the
shot.
bot here. They don't have the
I
bot
did
here.
connect to an NG.
Just wait, Karol. Go back, Karol. Go ahead.
Yeah, just Karol, stay safe if you can. So you're on the tank.
Camille should kill him anyway.
You
Actually,
can
I'll get
kill
one.
this
Shot,
sponsor.
first shot,
You can kill this
first shot.
sponsor with the heavies
Yes.
then.
Of course,
If the
it's
light want to
Camille.
move,
Yeah.
I can kill him.
Just cross creator, I will watch anti.
I'm falling back. Seems like this one free wants to push me.
Nice.
I'm going back to the mid. I'm going back to the mid. I'm going back
I'm
to the mid.
armor-racked. I'm armor-racked. Go back safe.
I'm going back to the mid with the bot already. These guys, you can kill the Panzer. We
Yeah.
have 4 minutes 30.
I'm playing
That's
safe.
not much time, so we have to be fast.
I will also join create.
Wait, I can try.
Stay here and just hold on.
60 seconds.
You have to kill this Panzer with the heavies here.
I'll try to spot him. Okay, he's spotted.
Fast shots.
Okay,
I'm
wait.
going around here.
Okay, so
Yeah,
congrats.
just a matter of time. now.
You can save that.
Karol, nawet nie próbuj. Może cię przebiję. Albo jak strzelić.
Now is the position we have. The only way to win is time. Battle is it?
I'll try to counter him.
Just say when he should.
Shot.
I have shells.
Yeah, they have, because E4 should be aiming the other way.
I cannot, he's running.
I did one.
For him.
I did one. I'm going safe.
If you shoot inside, Karol.
Yes, yes.
Battle is here. Can you kill this Panzer, guys?
Yes.
Ah, he's being
There,
good.
far. He's
Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's good. That's perfect.
They're reloading 50 seconds.
Battle is coming back.
Teha, can you go back and help insane? Or he doesn't
No,
need
guys. We need to kill this guy, then we need to proceed to this.
Yeah, I can even take more shots then. I'm full
Finish.
HP still.
Oh. I should.
You can finish
Alright,
before me.
they're pushing
What
here.
that
They're
then?
pushing here. They don't know
Shall
I'm
I
here. They
join
don't know
you?
I'm here. Help me. Go here.
Inside
Don't know
side,
I'm
right?
Oh, he moves forward.
It's fine. We
This
see
is
how we
for
can handle
shot.
this.
He
Just
he
need
was-
to kill this and then push
Yes.
this.
Yeah, he's one shot.
They cannot do anything.
Yes. It's good. Just guys, kill him.
Chodź,
HG.
loaded.
Okay, loading.
Karol, nie próbuj, mam hak.
Can only win by time now, so We lose by 10, I mean.
Mouse
So
shot HG. I got
nice,
it.
good job.
Nice.
Now
I can-
you need to go to this. Mouse
Yeah,
will play
yeah.
a bit more aggressive soon.
They're
I
really
can
low.
just
Yeah,
play
you can
aggressive and
just
these
go
guys
back to
can
this.
come.
Come in,
Just
the
go back.
creator have to go. I
Yeah,
will
yeah.
just support you.
I'm going, I'm going.
Raging, come with us around.
Mouse shot
Okay,
HG, mouse shot
come.
HG.
Okay,
Mouse shot
I'm
HG.
pushing. I'm pushing them. Just take some
Don't
shots.
solo in, dude. Don't solo in. They're
Yes,
not yet in
I just want to.
position.
I just want to take some shots,
Right?
so they're not focusing these guys. There.
Die, Raging, come.
Close to the hill.
This E4 is not even picking, by the way.
Chill. We have time. It's okay.
Is one of these still here?
Nice
E4.
spot. Raging, go in the corner.
I think
Run back.
Okay, well.
Creator, go first and try
Just stay
to
here,
engage you.
Deha.
Yeah, I can shoot him from here.
You have to be able to help them also if you want to yellow back the middle. But
You can just
I'll
go
just
into
take
them.
a shot. I'll take the shot
yeah,
then.
he's not here.
I'm
I
able
think-
to shoot
can you
mouse.
kill this guy, bro?
I'm going. Mouse
I'll
shot
push
as well.
this. Yeah, I'll push this mouse.
Let's go,
Go, combat,
Raging. Go Gracie.
Help us
shot.
with what?
I'm also able to shoot him, viewers.
Go Gracie to the buildings and you can do concertine.
Bad copy, go back up.
But distract.
Away,
Just one
Raging.
shot.
Nice. We
Bounce
got this.
us,
We got this.
Mouse
I
will
can
shoot us
finish
from
him.
the back creator. Watch out.
Can you spot mouse?
Not really.
Carol, can you aim this?
Maybe Deha? Proxy?
Can you?
Not really.
E4 shot. This one E4.
Wait,
You have shots?
You need to
Right?
pressure
I
this
can
door.
kill
We
him.
cannot
I
rush.
can kill him.
I will cross the rock.
Got him. Reloading.
I'm moving closer.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll play him.
Maybe
We have
not.
time.
He's
Okay.
going. You have shells? 3.
I'll block
Okay.
myself.
If I die, you can still kill him. I had it now.
I
Nice.
did trade one more.
He's shot bad.
I'm moving closer.
Also commit for the bad.
Should be able to
Like
shoot
him.
one shot.
I'll just one shot away.
Raging E4.
I'm aiming, but
I
Mouse.
see.
I
can finish. Hold on to
I
him.
still finish.
Oh, I bounced. Really. I can pull out. I finished.
Come on, guys. Move.
Before shot.
nice.
Nice.
I'm
Have
aiming.
shots inside?
I'm aiming,
He's
but
5 seconds and I can push.
Joining.
Okay.
Yeah,
Calm
like,
down.
yeah.
Calm
He
down.
cannot.
That-
How much health back?
Oh, it's fine.
Hey,
Push him there.
-3 he was.
And hey, I tell you what, Mojo, that is a different Oops team speak, isn't it?
That sounded really brilliant, I would say. It was just execution, calmness there. Everything was going really smooth, and with this kind of setup that's much lighter than eSuba, they just broke it.
Yep, it was really good the way they picked out the T100, and then you're saying they're going to go for PZ7 next, and you could hear them calmly saying, okay, just deal with them, switch to HE, finish him off, and saying the whole time was saying, just chill, guys, just chill, don't rush it, we've got it, just
We
keep
didn't
it
see it
calm.
all, but there was a pincer action going on from the other side of the map, and they were actually really playing on skill here. Like, this was just another level. eSuba was not cooperating that well. Also, they had a problem because their tanks were less mobile.
Daki, how can you do that from down there? Never mind.
And they definitely had a problem how to deal with them. You could see that on a crossing they took about 1400 damage on one Kerolf, I think.
Is that the bottom
And that
of the
was
table?
about it.
It's the bottom 5, maybe. That can't be right.
It's
I
not
think
right.
I think it's the bottom 5 rather than the top 5.
No, it's not, because
Yeah.
everyone connected something.
Because Frawley's got nothing there, so...
Never mind the tablet, it doesn't really matter. We still saw what happened. Oops really played nice tactics there, nice execution, good team speak, so they have something to be proud about.
Yes, very good from Oops. It's they were a team where we were thinking, can they gel together? Is it going to work for them? And certainly so far, it looks like it is working for them. They were unlucky against Utopia. That was their first match of the week. But then yesterday, I mean, they trounced Go Hard 5-2. So
I didn't expect them to take 2 rounds on mines. I was thinking if something happens, it will be Himmelsdorf or it will break on something like maybe Muro on Sand River. But early lead for them is good. The next 2 maps should favor them. I really doubt eSuba can just take 2 rounds from them on any of them.
yeah, it's going to be difficult now. Oops are starting to get their second win, get a bit of steam behind them. Now you can see WZ's there for eSuba, STRV for eSuba as well. At least one batch. It looks like a pattern as well there for eSuba.
Pattern is something you can use in a hold-on position now. Like there is no need. People were using like ML2s, if you remember, or Kranwagen, or STB. It's not needed. Pattern now has a hard turret, good reload, good gun depression. So that's why you will use it in defense on several maps. You've seen it used in Sand River, and obviously the trend continues now on the next logical map, which would be Muravanka.
My bad, that wasn't 2 WZs, it was an IS4 and a WZ. Now, Oops are going with Mouse, I7, 3, 4 batchats, 5 batchats. Okay, look down the list first, Hector. Very mobile, but with a bit of anchoring there for Oops.
Very mobile with mouse.
Yeah, the bit of anchoring with the two heavies. That's what I'm saying, you know?
So when you see an i7 in this kind of setup, it usually means you want to use it on the lower side of the map where the forest is and those little hills because of the turret. And new gun handling really allows you to play nicely with it. And Deha, this is something that Oops played before, if you remember. Deha would stay here, he would play an anchor, as you say, and they would usually use 1 or 2 mediums behind as a cover. They got burned a couple of times when they left Deha alone in last season, so that's why you can see at least 1 budget covering him, because if there is any kind of attack by eSuba, you can count the tanks, it's gonna be by 3 budgets. Raging and Deha between themselves should be able to easily shut down 1 budget and maybe even the second one.
So Batchats of Oops just rotating through the forest. Raging
Still
Potato.
risky, and I would say they should have 1 more.
Yeah, Raging Potato just giving himself a little bit of cover there, knocking over a tree as he's up here at C1. Now looking at the viewpoint of Tomasek and IS4, directly opposite him. Decha not really connecting with anything. Tomasek spotted, Decha spotted, they know exactly where each other are. But look at this. This little hit squad down the bottom of the Batchats, led by the IS7 of Milosh.
It's normal, guys, because if there is any kind of trap in the lower side of the map, they want to be able to shoot it and cover him. Milosh is a true bait. A battering ram here, he's going with his armor forward and he's looking to see is there anyone to spot him early. That will give them quite a lot of info. Where will some of the budgets maybe be? Is there, like, you can always leave a budget as a spotter down. Like you have Anji here, but there can be someone closer.
Connection there onto Decha. This is what we talked about as well before, Mojo, how in the past teams would have perhaps a tier 8 light in one of the bushes down the bottom, but now with the format being 770, do you put a Batchat down there, do you put a tier 10 light? You know, suddenly you're sacrificing what could be a potential bonus for your team to just sit them in the bush, and it doesn't play the same as what you would with the tier 8 light.
The tier 10 light could be a problem because it's very nice, you can spot and so on, but if you don't have a brilliant cover fire, when the brawl starts, that light is actually a liability.
Frawley now getting shot at as well, that's quite interesting. He's in the STRV. Don't think he's even spotted, so it looks like it was a blind fire.
Well, they're just blinding the obvious spots, like you can see the top of the hill and a couple of the bushes there, you can expect someone will be there. So example, Milosh has good angles to just blind fire, and I'm pretty sure he's experienced enough to know where to hit.
Sane is spotted as he moves across. He's just going to try and give his team vision onto the ridgeline. They know they can advance up that far. And Sane's just going to try and proxy spot, just a little peek here on the ridge so you can say to his teammates, like, guys, like, move up, you're safe.
There we go,
Unji
Unji's
is
found.
spotted. Milosh sees him. Unji's going to have to turn and run, and that's going to give time for them to move over. Now, Insane can shoot him as well. He's having a little trade-off with him. This is bad for Unji. He got tracked there by Insane, and he goes down. Unji picking up the kill on Unji. Now, Insane's going to take a bit of shots back. Looks like Lukin's getting shots at him. That is a great bit of information there for Oops.
It doesn't matter Insane getting shot so much, he's still on 1 shot and he's still alive, he can do some backup. And the main thing is eSuba now lost their single spotter of the lower side of the map. That gives a lot of opportunities now to Oops, because effectively they could just put 1 budget on the cap and trigger it. They will probably first put enough tanks to cover that, like an anchor Deha, as we said many times. He's gonna probably go here on the corner. And he didn't expect Andrew really to be there, so otherwise he would not be doing this.
Ow. Decha, it burns. There we go, finally a bounce. And he snapshots back, try and get shot back. Wow, that was, that was brutal.
Yukit got him, so they pretty much lost entire mouse for the trade of 1 shot. Andrew is in reload, but he will be out of it in like 25 seconds max. There is a cap pressure going on, as I said, Kerolf is going down, but loss of Decha will cost a lot.
What an exchange, like to be able to take out a Batchat like that and then just to lose your mouse effectively so easily like that, that was horrible.
They just didn't expect Andrew there behind the house.
That was nice. That was nicely done how they were able to get the shots. Yuket's taken a bit of damage there for eSuba as they're trying to reposition here to work out who's going to be sent over to
They already
spot the
sent
cap.
Yuket.
Yuket's going in now, Milosh backs off, takes a little bit of a hit. Now they're going to pull off from the cap. Oops, just going to reposition. HP advantage is now with eSuba actually now because of that.
It is,
Oops
of course,
taking
because
a
of that
super light
3000
lineup.
HP.
Yep. Losing the mouse, yeah. Yeah, man, that's frustrating. That was a free kill. Raging Potato taking a shot there for Oops, getting ammo racked and repairing it straight away. Or it might have been a loader, my bad.
That was Amorek. Some shots are coming in, but this is rather sporadic. There is still about 1k HP advantage here for eSuba, and they're much more balanced. Like, they don't have a guy who is crippled with HP like insane, but Yuket is stuck there behind the building, so he's the first obvious target for Oops. They're gonna try to crossfire him as much as they can, pushing back the rest of the guys, and it doesn't look like they are going to try the final push. I mean, they need to try to trigger the cap again. So if they kill Yuket, I believe one Bachat will go in the cap again, and others will be close enough to clip on the enemy or to join the cap in last seconds if needed.
Yuket's down to a one-shot, 139 HP. eSuba currently down one tank. They've lost a Batchat 25. Oops, I've lost Deca and their mouse.
Hoppala.
3k gone, but look at this. Lucan and Andrew are going to push up on Raging Potato. Now he's on a reload. He's going to come off reload, but he's going to have 8 shots going into him, so he's going to go down swinging, trying to do what he can. Insane did have 4 shots, so he can do a bit of crossbar damage as well. Raging Potato.
Oh, they tracked him, and he doesn't have repair because he repaired Amorek.
Done and dusted. Lucan's going to get the final kill here. So Lucan and his teammate over in this top corner, Andrew, now hiding behind the wreckage of Raging Potato. And Insane is now in an extremely dangerous position, but he has Crater and Karloff over his shoulder.
HP-wise, they are the same, but this was really good answer by eSuba. Great read. Insane now falling down. This is not the game that Oops was looking for. After killing that first Bachat more or less for free, everything was a downfall after losing a mouse. Now they're forced to do some kind of crazy actions and pushes, but that will just not end well. At the moment, we have 4 on 4. So if these Bachats down don't manage to wipe out the forces of eSuba, and they do have the shells to defend themselves, so it's Creative and Karloff against Andrew and Lukin, and it's more or less for the game.
This is an old-fashioned gunfight here. It's Batchat on Batchat. They need to focus the shots, try and get one down. Andrew now is a one-shot. He misses his shot as dangerous. Karloff's going to go around the corner and peek, but potentially could get him killed, but no, he gets the kill. Crater still has all his HP left. Lukin is now going to die to Karloff as well. It's really nice done. Can Karloff move it away so Crater can get that last shot? Because Karloff is taking Crater.
Oh my god!
No!
And he survives.
And now they're both surviving.
Ram incoming.
It is going to be a Ram kill. Lukin picking up the kill there. But look at this. He kills Karloff and Tomasek is able to kill Cameo at the same time. That was unlucky there for Crater and...
Ryan, there is a name for it. That was just a fail. Come on.
Yeah. I'm trying to be kind here, but that,
honestly, they completely outplayed the duo of eSuba. They really played better. They the Creator did a lot of shots, and Karloff did well. And then to miss just last 1 or 2 shots, that was just nonsense.
Yeah. Had they survived that, it could have been potentially different across the board, but you would have had a Batchat with very little...
With this time, it just wouldn't...
Karloff wouldn't have had a lot of HP left, and you've still got 3 tanks here left on eSuba. So Crater is just going to run into the guns, do what he can before he goes down. Just one man with a hope and a dream, but I don't think it's going to quite happen for him. No, he's wrecked.
Wow, that sounded like Papa Puppy Power.
He's not even shooting. Frawley picking up the triple kill there.
Come on, Cater, like this is a basic mistake you're making. You need to pump all the damage till the end. It goes into the stats of Fantasy League, and those that have you in the team will appreciate it. So just shoot all the time, you know?
He's in my fantasy team.
It matters. It matters. Every shot matters.
Yep, every shot counts. Damage is damage, as I believe Warlord would say. I don't know.
I mean, being part of fame, red line sniping, like everyone is accused of.
4K.
It means
4.3 coming out there from Frawley. Then it's, I mean, look at the difference all the way down to Milosh there, 2.4. So Frawley, red lining like a boss, and just farming damage.
Interesting. Like I would say a major mistake in positioning by Anji in that bush. They cleared him out rather easy. And then just the throw of the game with that misconception that there is no one around the cap and Deja just pushing and then realizing really late. With mouse you can't really do anything about it.
I mean, the worst thing was is that the angle that he was approaching on as well, like he couldn't turn his turret to do anything because then he had shots some other way. So, like even if he moved slightly, he was just getting. I mean, it was an absolute.
It doesn't matter.
pummeling.
There were other people shooting also. Like Vizid in cooldown. Vizid now has -7 gun depression, so that gives him a lot of opportunities. He Temo like 490 alpha, and he was the guy who finished him off.
It was horrible to see. It was it was like stop, he's already dead. Please,
So yeah, Oops tried to recover from that situation. We've seen that, but there was a good read by eSuba, a good push on Raging. Raging was really misfortunate because he took one shell before, and I saw he repaired the Amorek, if you remember, not the loader, and and that costed him because he got tracked right when he wanted to go around the corner.
Yeah, it was a nice push. I mean, I was going to say generally that's what happens is once something happens at the bottom of the map, usually the team who's defending will try and counter by doing something up that flank to then try and clear that flank out so they don't get pincered. And it was a good push at the time from the back chats, but then the counter-attack from Oops was... I mean, they had the huge advantage at the start. Andrew was a one-shot.
No, they made the advantage. That's the difference. They made the advantage.
They killed Andrew, but then the other tank was then able to just farm away into
Kerov missed a shot, and then Creator missed a shot, and he was left on one shot, which was more than enough to ram.
Just ram him.
But as we said, like even if they won that side, eSuba already won the other side of engagement, and there was like Ice 4 or almost 100% HP. Like 2 of them would be needed just to kill him.
Yeah, so, I mean, it started out well for Oops, and then it just kind of fell against them. Now, teams are going to swap positions. We're going to see eSuba on the attack. We're going to see Oops on the defense. Looking across at the tanks, we see Mouse on either side, STRV
and the light tank we were talking about on Oops side.
STRV on the attack for eSuba. Interesting. Now... eSuba, they're going to be playing in the blue and white camouflage. They're going to be playing on the red side. Oops are going to be in the giraffe camouflage, and they're going to be playing on the blue side defending. Let's have a look and see how this one goes. Cameo is in a T100 as well, so STB1 coming out from Milos. That's kind of an old school tactic for this one. For
look at this
team.
Aggressive approach by Oops, like a full push going on. Camille will just cut and try to see all the tanks, but they gave up already because they have a feeling they're going in a trap. And it was actually a good call because they will get wrecked.
This is where things went wrong on Friday. They ruined it. Sorry, Thursday, one of the first matches of the weekend. They absolutely blew this tactic. They rushed forward and they stayed there. They tried to kill Shoku, and Shoku didn't go down.
Well, that was the first bypass of these forest hunters, but they're now going away back to the motherland. STB coming back from the storage house. I haven't seen STB this season even single time yet, but there you go. Milos is playing it today.
Because other time we're questioning where the STB would be used over, for example, the AMX, but Dak was saying the AMX still has its
it has that turret hatch
growth on the top.
It's really annoying.
It's not a Tulma.
It's really annoying. Like you have a tier 9 French that doesn't have it, and then you play a tier 10, and every time you peek, you get a shell before you even see who shot you. What gun depression? What gun depression are we talking about when you get shot before you even see anyone?
Now on eSuba we see Lucan's taking damage on his mouse and Andrew has taken damage in his back chat. No damage yet to Oops as eSuba are just kind of play for position. But look at this, hyper aggressive defense coming out here from Oops to take the 1-2 line.
Parallel push by Deja and 3 budgets on the top of the map. eSuba doing the right choice, a correct choice in running away with Combat and Anji because otherwise it would be GG already. They would have no way to survive this.
And this is very aggressive from a defending team.
But this is also a plan B for Oops. You could see it if they have to rotate back. That's why I have Camille. Camille had a purpose to go and spot ahead. If they're pushing with Bachats and if nothing happens, they're pulling back, leaving Camille in a spotting bush, and it's covered by Milos and Insane, while the rest of the guys are pushing the other side of the battlefield.
And this area along the A-line on the map, if anyone's ever been there, usually the North team ends up hiding there on randoms.
That's why I put I7 here.
Very hilly and very awkward to try and actually get vision because of all the bushes up there as well and trees.
So they know there is a spotter now there, but Froly is keeping his TD down. He's not even in TD mode. He's just
Ready
as
to
flat
run,
as
yeah.
he can, because he's capping. He's not trying to do damage. And if he gets spotted or thinks he's going to get spotted, he needs to run, not to go 2 seconds away
And
from the siege mode.
it's actually a perfect tank to do that because the tank is just as fast in reverse as it is forward. So you can just get the hell out of
Well,
there.
tier 10 is not as fast as Udes, but of course, higher tier. And Oops, he has quite a lot of time to do whatever they want, because in one moment they can just launch him.
Oh, Unji, they've jumped on Unji. They've got the jump on Unji. Unji just got triple teamed at the top of the map. And
They're going to be a boost on the cap now.
Strong push here from Oops, but have to be careful because they're leaving the bottom of the map exposed. And Raging Potato is visible, Kerloff is visible, and now they're getting shot at by the tanks from eSuba who were hiding in the forest.
That was misplay by Kerloff. Like, the moment they kill Anji, all of them should have just hugged the red line and fade. That's the prerogative they needed to do, not to try to do some damage against the tanks who already know where they are. Cap is coming close. As I said, there will be more people closing in. Camille is now going to spot who is trying to cap it. There we go. There is a reset. The full reset on STRV is there.
Brilliant reset coming in. It's now Insane is pushing up into Tomasek, and he also has, it looks like Deka helping him out as well to try and get Tomasek out of the way. Now, what can eSuba do to counter this? They need to try and get involved in a brawl, because in a second, the bat chats from Oops are going to come back into the battle. Lukin gets the kill on Cameo there, who was the light spotting at the bottom of the base, and again, they're going back into the cap circle with 2 tanks. Are they going to bring a 3rd one in as well, Mojo?
Well, that's why I said, like, the first thing that needs to happen is Camille to die, so he doesn't keep them perma-spotted. I mean, the mouse will die in the middle, and Lukin is just used as a bait, so Froley can actually cap behind him. And one moment, there has to be a full push by Oops forces, the Bachats and so on, and there you go. They have the positions now. This is a complete massacre.
This is like shooting fish in a barrel right now for Oops. They have the angles, they just need to focus on who's going to go down. Lukin is down to 1-shot. Kerloff gets the killing blow on him. Froley is trying to rotate, but now Kerloff gets a double kill as Andrew runs one way, Hughes runs the other way, and Combat is off in a different direction as well. eSuba have just scattered from this cap circle, trying to desperately get in some cover or try and get some hard buildings between them and the guns of Oops right now.
Well, Andrew in Combat can still do quite a lot, but if Oops just plays it careful, shot by shot, and don't allow themselves to get in some ridiculous conflicts they don't need, they will easily win the game. They have the 3000 HP advantage and more guns.
Oh, Ukets in between Deka here and Creator. It looks like Ukets might get one more shot into Deka before he goes down. He's got that lower plate to be able to shoot into, but it is Deka getting the kill on Ukets. Andrew finally gets a kill on Kerloff, who picked up 2 kills himself earlier on. Now, Combat and Creator trading off. It looks like Creator's going to lose that fight, but no, there's the overmatch there from Deka, giving him a little bit supporting fire over his shoulder. But Andrew now killing off Creator, and it's now 1 man against 4. And well, I think the writing's on the wall, Andrew.
It's just not going to happen in this game. I mean, he doesn't even... He killed Raging. Take a lesson in that, Creator. Always shoot.
Oh, Andrew going down, swinging here, gets a parting shot on Milosh as well. So the dude managed to farm a good bit of damage there before he finally succumbed to the guns of Oops.
Still completely outplayed in this game by Oops. Very aggressive play by them. Good planning from the start. Good rotations. A bit risky, I would say, because if eSuba played it a bit more careful, they didn't have to lose Anji.
Yeah.
And when he fell, it was just like a domino effect. They couldn't hold the lines anymore.
Yeah, and they were unlucky on Capsule Deka. Whoa, 5.8 there in the WZ. What a monster round. I mean, he was farming the mouse up top with Milosh. Kerloff as well doing 2.7s. Beautiful, lovely.
I would say
done.
Deha had a lot of problems in last season to find his play, to find his communication and place in Oops. But he improved toward the end of the season significantly. And in this one, he was constant damage dealer. So that settled for sure. Now we need to see how they settle with new guys. But Creator, I don't think he needs settling, man. I guess he's that kind of the player. He just throw in and he's playing his stuff.
Yeah, he's settling in fine. Just needs to. I mean, there's obviously the additional pressure of playing in esports, but he certainly looks like someone who's
that goes from person to person.
Yeah.
Like it's really like that. Some guys handle it better. Some guys really never lose the shakes when they think they're watched.
Yeah, true. You can see that Daki said it was he jokingly called it sheesh aim on somebody. That's a bit unfair to sheesh.
I saw your aim a couple of times.
My dude, there's a replay of me trying to kill Quickie Baby. It doesn't happen. Like the aiming's everywhere. It's like
it's a double stream from your side and from his side, and it's a double
he
fail.
didn't even know he was playing against us. That's what even made it worse. Didn't even acknowledge the fact it was me trying to shoot him. Yeah, terrible for me. That's why I am no longer a mod in Daki's chat. I unmodded myself out of shame for missing a killing blow on a streamer. But enough about me. Let's get back into this battle, Mojo. It is going to be Sand River, our new map. I do enjoy watching this one because it's one of these ones we can watch the tactics develop over time as we continue to play this map.
This is the same setup Oops used the last time, and you remember how it went against Go Hard, and this is a match point for them. So, honestly, we more need to see here what will eSuba do about it than Oops, because we already know what to expect from Oops.
Yes. Now, a win here for Oops would be fantastic, but a win for eSuba would keep me and Mojo's predictions alive, and it means that production are less likely to be the ones to win the initial first production. But hey, we just want to see a good match at the end of the day. Now, the meta here for Sand River tends to revolve around base 2, and that's where we're likely to see most of the action, although in saying that, it looks like Oops are rotating south initially.
Well, they do the strong push, let's say, in that direction. Usually in the start, they like to establish their positions, and then they will start with rotation, up and down. I mean, this is still attack, so there is quite a lot of time to spend, and they need to do it carefully. Patton used more and more, especially in this position. You remember Deha plays it usually for Oops. Combat plays it for eSuba in this side.
That's an awesome new model that tank's got. Absolutely looks fantastic. And it plays fantastic as well.
Well, it's much better now. I mean, from a completely useless tank and something that was just like a dusty spot in garage, you got finally something you can actually use.
Cheeky! Little 48
as far as
Daki
said, Deha plays that Patton non-stop on his stream.
Yep.
So I guess he knows how to play against it also well.
Oh, that's cheeky. 2 shots and then damaging the gun on the second
Yeah, but
one.
you can also see the great gun depression of that VZ now, because and actually the accuracy of that gun. And pretty much with all the buff stats that these tanks have, and you have food and stuff, it's 8.86 reload, I think. It's really insane. It's just insane. Yeah, there you go.
So a safe advice to give anyone who's wanting to get into esports or play esports level: just work your way towards the bat chat, work your way towards the WZ5A.
And a couple of more.
Couple more as well, but those tanks will be able to give you the basics and rotations and stuff that you need to do. You can always sub in and out for people. Kerloff and Deha here going through the middle of the dry riverbed. It's kind of hovering about the junction. Andrew up here in the bat chat. Not spotting anything, but ready to pop out if anyone does come over that ridge line.
Well, there is a couple of guys there from eSuba actually, and they're waiting to overmatch if someone pushes, because they're evolving their entire play against the 2 cap. So if someone tries to trigger the cap, they will have still some kind of dominance. They have 2 guys on the lower side of the map because they cannot really ignore it. It would make them in a bad situation, like crossfired.
Hey, look at the minimap just now, right? There's Raging Potato at the top of the minimap. He's the sacrificial lamb for Oops. It's like, Raging mate, you go first. You seem to be a bullet sponge, so you'll find enemy team shots, mate. And that looks like he was about to go up to that area. Thankfully, he got spotted before he carried on. If he goes up into that area, A6, right beside him, oh, mate, don't turn left.
He will do as the Lord abides. So when Insane says go, he will have to go.
Allez. He's gonna, oh man, poor Raging. I think it's just bad luck. I don't think it's necessarily bad play. He just seems to be the one who's at the front lines or whatever when people are ready for him.
Well, Oops is gathering their forces. They're gonna try to play a bit of a hold down first and approach without taking humongous amounts of damage. I don't think they're still enough to trigger the cap. Initially, Combat already taking a shot from the back, so he had to fall a little. It's probably by Insane from that G5-6 position.
This is good as well. It allowed the WZs
it's actually
to move
Camille.
up.
Camille shot him in the back.
Yep. WZs have now
sneaky.
moved up into the ridgeline position. Milosh is coming up now in support of Raging Potato. And now the WZs can now shoot across, trying to weed out Frawley from that position before wanting to send anyone to capstock. I mean, the danger
You know what's
is
interesting here? Like when I look the positions of eSuba, in one moment, I guess some of the Oops guys could just push through the village and try to kill out Ukets on the lower side of the map, because he is alone.
Yeah, if Insane can go down low and keep himself protected, and Cameo can come at the same time. Insane's going at a different angle as well. Where's he going? That's Bolt. He's rushing
There
up
is
to
another
ridge line as
version.
well.
They can just gather up and push the guys here in this sandbag, which is gonna be a super bloody fight, but an interesting one.
Okay, is Insane just gonna... He's spotted. It looked like he was gonna be the one to rush
Yeah, that's gonna
forward.
be it.
Oh, okay. Insane's going. He does spot. He only takes 3 damage there. They're trying to jump into Tomasek. Insane is being focused though. Tomasek is being focused. Kerloff and Crater peek up over the hill. Insane getting a kill on Tomasek. Nice push here from Oops, but look at the return fire coming out as damage is going into Crater. Looking being the next one focused down. He's now pretty much a one-shot. Andrew being focused now onto eSuba as well. Oops still really haven't taken any damage across the board. Crater does get damaged. Amorak repairs that straight away, so Crater and Oops is being focused at the moment, but it's going so far exactly as Oops wanted.
This is exactly where Oops already failed in one game when they lost the match because there was lack of communication, and this is exactly the move they should have done. They didn't organize it well, but this time I guess they practiced it and they mastered it, and there we go. These are the results.
Clinical again, as Oops are doing brilliant with their focused fire here. You can see they've dropped 3 tanks. Now the shots are coming into Frawley and Ukets. Camu here trading off against Ukets. 2 more shots to go. 1 more won't kill him, but Camu's going to stop and take that just before he goes as Kerloff picks up a double kill, finishing off combat there. Insane now on a reload. He's backing off from his batchat. Unji still with all his shots in the background. Raging Potato has a full shot to go here, but Ukets getting the kill onto Crater now.
It doesn't really matter because there is still 6 guys from Oops there. There is Havoc all over the map, and this will be very, very soon a second victory for Oops.
Very nicely done there from Oops. Again, like the previous round there on Mines, they've taken a lot of damage, but they still have the majority of guns in the game. They've only lost the Batchat, and they've lost the WZ5A and Crater as well. Now, Kerloff picking up a triple kill, and this is Oops 5-2, winning their second game in week 1. And a strong showing, to be honest.
Let's not forget, even when they lost in tiebreaker, so they still have 1 point from there.
Yeah, I would
Their
say
first match was a tiebreaker loss.
so far they're looking like the team that has most got it together